Today we're going to upgrade the Hobby Plus CR24 that Banggood sent me, and we make substantial performance gains. Stay tuned. What's going on, guys? Old Uncle Lee, BullgearRC videos. And today we're going to start a little side project. Now, everybody's probably familiar with the Axial SCX24. This is the truck, guys, that I have to give Axial credit for this truck, because Axial put the 24 scale on the map when they brought this truck out. And looking around YouTube and here and there are a lot of people coming up with upgrades for this. The upgrade scene for this is kind of reminiscent of the Red Cat Gen 8, because there's a lot of people doing 3D prints for this, you know, just kind of making up their own upgrades. And one of the reasons for that, I guess, is because there aren't too many, you know, factory upgrades for this thing yet. So this, on the other hand, is the this is the Hobby Plus CR24 that Banggood sent me to review. And this truck, guys, is cheaper than this truck. This truck has been around longer. This truck has a bunch of upgrades already for it, just bolt on, buy from Hobby Plus upgrades. And well, this truck out of the box killed this truck on an incline test. So with all that being said, guys, I want to go ahead and see what we can do with this thing insofar as upgrades, because I don't see a lot of people doing upgrade videos on this truck. And that's what I want to do. I want to see where we can take this thing. Now, of course, as you can see, the body's already off. I've removed the bumpers from this truck. I've removed the body posts. We took a bunch of stuff off. I've been tinkering with it a little bit. So anyway, yeah, let's get into doing some upgrades to this thing, shall we? All right, guys. So this is a spare tire. The tires on this truck is one of the advantages it has kind of over the Axial, because these tires are like super sticky compared to these. I mean, these are kind of soft and yeah, but compared to these are really a good sticky tire. They're a lot smaller, so that's a disadvantage, but they are sticky. Now, one of the things I did do, I don't know if we could see the difference here. This is a spare tire, and I'm just kind of experimenting with some stuff that I haven't messed around with yet. And one of the things I did was I tried out some of this black wash on this, and yeah, I think it come out looking better than this one. That takes some of the plastic look away. So another thing about these guys is these are bead locks. So I don't know, 4 little screws in the back to hold this thing together. So we're going to take this apart and show you what they look like inside. Now, there's no foams in these. They're it's just hollow inside. But yeah, I did want to see what they look like inside, so I took the spare part, and I discovered something kind of interesting. Let me get this thing popped loose here, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. All right. So this is what I'm talking about. This is what I noticed. This thing is super light. It's a little plastic inside ring. And while I was looking at this, I kind of started wondering what could I do to you know, add a little weight to this. and I'm looking at all these slots, and I thought maybe I could fill those up with something. And what could I use? Well, that's when I came up with, you know, solder. This is pretty heavy stuff, and that's what I've done to this wheel. Now I'll show you what I've done here. We'll put it in time lapse or something, and we'll knock it out. But we measured these. The solder goes in here. Sometimes we have to flatten it just a little bit to get it in there, but 4mm lengths of this solder. Let me see. Here we go. Yeah, so if we get a little 4mm length of solder, that's a little short one, about that long I think will work. And I just kind of give it a little squeeze, and those fits right in there just like that. So let me get these wheels done. We're gonna do all 4 of them, but I'm sure you don't want to see that, so I'll do a little time lapse, and we'll get it done like this one's done. Alright guys, so as you can see, we've put solder in all the slots all the way around, and already it's substantially heavier than it was. But this is the these are the millstone brass weights that will go on the SCX24, and this is still heavier than this, so I want to give equal advantage. So what I did also is I cut out a piece of solder that we can wrap right around our wrap it right around here, and then what we do is use a little bit of super glue, and we will glue this right on. And we'll give it a few minutes to set up. And this is why, if we look at, where's that first one? Yeah, if we look at this one, this is the first one I did, and you see we can squish it up, but it doesn't go all the way flat, where in the stock configuration we can squeeze these all the way down flat, because, you know, there's no foams or anything. And I think this is just about right here. This is a nice heavy wheel now, so that's what we're going to do with all of these. Alright, so all these wheels are done, 4 of them. I left the spare. I didn't add weight to the spare, but yeah, they're all done. I put the black wash on all of them just to kind of dirty them up a little bit. These 4 are all ready to go on the truck. But before we do that, the next step is we are going to install these. These are the aluminum upgrade shocks for the Hobby Plus CR24. Now these shocks are just a little bit longer than the axial shocks, and the shafts are a lot thicker in these shocks than the axial shocks, and these are also adjustable, also removable caps. So So yeah, we can adjust these just like on a 10th scale. Set that one a little bit tight. But yeah, so we're going to now replace these, and maybe we will mess around trying these out on the axial truck and see what happens. But for now, we're going to upgrade this truck. All right, before we put this last shock on, I just wanted to show you the difference between the stock shock and the new aluminum upgrade shock. The stock shock, this truck has stiffer shocks, stiffer springs than the axial. Kind of to the other end of the spectrum. I think the axial is a little bit too soft, and I think these are just a little bit too hard. But these aluminum upgrade shocks, the spring tension seems to be right in the middle of the two. So I'm kind of digging that. All right, guys, with the new shocks, wheel weights, this thing feels quite a bit better than it did with stock shocks on it and no wheel weights. So one of the things, I don't know if you've noticed or not, but I took the bumpers off, and there's a reason that I took the bumpers off this thing, guys. And the reason is this body. Now, I like this body. It's a nice body. It looks good. It's got aluminum roll cage. But, you know, I want to make this thing mine. So, next thing we're going to do, guys, I've already been working on this. I've been doing a little trimming and getting this thing ready. But, oh yeah, look at that right there. Yes, sir. We're going to make us a little, bug out of this one right here, guys. So, yeah, with the body on here, next thing I want to do is do an incline test. Last time we compared it to the axial. Out of the box, the axial would not do 51 degrees. This one made 51 degrees. So let's give it a try now with the new upgrades that we gave it and see what it does. All right, guys. So let's give this thing a little incline test. It's the same as we did last time. Found the iron board in the closet of the motel room. We're at 57 degrees, Hobby Plus, with the new upgrades that we've done to it. Let's check it out. There we have it, 57 degrees. So 57 degrees is pretty impressive out of this little guy right here. I gotta be honest, I'm having fun tinkering with this thing, guys, and that's what it's all about, is, you know, just having some fun. And you know, this is really a pretty cheap way to you know, tinker around and have some fun. And I think it's a pretty formidable little 24 scale car. Now, I didn't mention before, this body, I found this on eBay. I think this is for a low-C mini trail trekker or something like that. So, yeah, and, you know, it's a light body, and it fits on here, kind of just barely, but it fits on here, and it's just about right, because what it does, it makes the tires the four corners, which is going to, you know, help its performance out in the real world pretty good, I think. But anyway, yeah, like I said, with everything we've done to this right now, we're at probably the equivalent price to this thing out of the box. And 57 degrees versus maybe 50 degrees on an incline right now. So yeah, it's a fun little hobby. And of course, if we add the price of the millstone weights to the axial, that leaves me room now to buy the entire electronics upgrade kit for this from Hobby Plus, which is what I've done, and I'm waiting for it to get here. And when it does get here, we'll continue the upgrades on this truck. So if you're interested in one of these, links in the description below. You'll get a little discount for using my link. And I'm also going to leave a link to, I guess Banggood's having a 13th anniversary sale. Pretty good deals there. So I'll leave that link in the description below. Till next time, Uncle Lee, BullgearRC Video saying I'll see ya.